Could we actually get it? No, really. Could we actually get it? For those that don't know, my name is Eric. I'm a wannabe writer that fails a lot of the times, but if you look to the screen behind me, no, I'm not talking about the board. Although, I think this is a very creative, original idea. I don't think anybody on YouTube's ever done this. I got a board behind me. Maybe I should GoFundMe some names that can get put on there. I just feel like it's a completely unique concept and nobody's ever done it before. Can't. Sean, I love you. I hope you got your bags packed. I mean, they're pretty light. All right, so let's cut to the chase. The title of the video is The Shield versus the Club. Could it actually happen? I made a video yesterday where I started to throw out an idea when I mentioned that Roman and the Shield had the reunion, but I want to follow up on that and really kind of to dive in a little deeper. And the real reason why. If you look back there, in my universe mode last year, which did very well on the first episode. You guys supported it like crazy. And then every single day I did one, instead of trying to space it out, I put a lot of time and effort into it. But when you put that much time into something, no other videos on the channel got done. But in that build, and I have the actual script from when I did it, all the way from TLC, all the way to WrestleMania. It was done. And it involved the Shield versus the Club at one point. Let me show you what's on the screen behind me, and that was the Shield. Basically, Roman reuniting the Shield. At the time, he didn't have the title yet. So, in my universe mode, Roman did reunite the Shield for the simple fact of he realized he needed some help to keep down his enemies. There was something bigger in play. And in my universe, it was Braun Strowman who would eventually face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the title on the line, that the monster among men finally got his opportunity. And in that universe mode, when Roman Reigns reunited the Shield, they went after their enemies. They went after Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Finn Bálor. You guys didn't get to see him eventually getting to AJ Styles, which sucks. But basically, the concept was kind of what they're doing right now on TV. You have AJ Styles, who's getting decimated over on SmackDown by Samoa Joe. And you have this reign of Brock Lesnar's that just got snapped. Brock is on this huge title reign, and this is where it's more realistic to now compared to my universe mode. Brock just had this huge title reign of 500-plus days snapped. Meanwhile, AJ Styles has got this title reign that's pretty big, over 300-plus days. And Roman has now got kind of this useless title, right? This Universal title was given to Finn Bálor, and he got hurt, and it got stripped, and then it was handed to KO. KO, who just got decimated at SummerSlam, by the way. Part of the long-term story. You wouldn't get it. It's payoff stuff. But basically, the Samoan submission machine is chasing after AJ Styles. Now, he doesn't necessarily have to win to get Samoa Joe over. Samoa doesn't necessarily need the title. But him being this wrecking ball, going after AJ Styles, opens the door, like a lot of people are speculating, why did the Shield reunite? Is the Shield only reuniting to try to get Roman over, like JD would say? And I'd say no. I think this is much bigger. If Roman Reigns, the speculation from the Sky Bet stuff, which we talked about, was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at WrestleMania, that'd be huge. But up until then, you got Survivor Series. So Roman just surrounded himself with Seth and Dean again. But on SmackDown, as you look, Survivor Series is only a month or two away now. You basically have, or 3 months, you basically have AJ Styles getting decimated by Samoa Joe. So now what happens if Samoa Joe keeps going after AJ and AJ finally snaps and AJ realizes he needs some help, he needs backup? And that's when some Good Brothers show up. Abs Anderson, the guy that's been flashing his abs on TV constantly, and Luke Gallows. They haven't been taking stuff very seriously. And a lot of people get upset about that, and they constantly tweet him like, you should be booked better, you should be doing this and that. Meanwhile, Karl's having the time of his life, spending time with his family instead of traveling over to Japan all the time. He's healthier and better looking than he has in a long time. Like, my man's putting in work. You have Luke Gallows also looking good, just kind of simmering in the background, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Now, we saw that the Shield reuniting got the big pops. So there's been speculation, what is the Balor Club, whatever you want to call it? Where'd the Bullet Club go? Where is the Club? Because if you remember, the Club used to back up AJ Styles. After AJ Styles came into the WWE and faced Jericho, he would face Roman Reigns in 2 or 3 pay-per-view matches back-to-back. And he would lose every single one of them, and Roman was the top dog before the Universal title was even a thing. Now, Roman has got the Universal title, which he's been chasing for years, but Brock pretty much never defended it. KO was kind of it was given to Goldberg. Nothing's really been done with that title. Meanwhile, AJ Styles has been defending this title pretty much all the time. So fast forward 3 years from when they first faced off, you now have, the Shield on one side. Whether the plan is to protect Roman with the Shield members surrounding him so he can keep that title for WrestleMania or whatever, it doesn't matter. Because AJ Styles, who's getting beat up by Samoa Joe, like I said, could have the Good Brothers all of a sudden show up. Now, the only problem I had with this is when I was trying to think of WWE Survivor Series and getting us the Club versus the Shield, the thing that really, because I've been saying that since 15 and 16 too, is if you're going to have that match, then that also frees up Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe, because if you guys remember in my past couple of years, I said each show kind of had their heavy. You had Braun Strowman on one show and Baron Corbin on the other, who both played kind of the bad guy heel type stuff. And then Baron got drafted to Raw, and then Samoa Joe went over to SmackDown. So now he's like the answering force. So you could have at SummerSlam, which just ended, crowning a new champion. You kept AJ Styles as champion. So now going into Survivor Series, as long as they hold the belts at Hell in a Cell and Super Showdown, because Daniel Bryan himself and Miz are going to earn an opportunity. Whoever wins in Australia is going to face the champion. Now, I have speculated that you can have Daniel Bryan or Miz take the belt away from AJ Styles in some sort of a feud. That way we get Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at WrestleMania for the title, for AJ Styles' title. I literally put up my own bet line like Sky Bet does because I believe it's going to happen. I don't believe that chapter's over. I believe at WrestleMania we're getting Daniel versus The Miz with the title on the line. So now if you reunite the Club, that's going to kind of piss off Balor, because the Club, we don't necessarily know what it was. It was Finn that, created the original Bullet Club. He was like one of the founding members. He was the Club. And then he came to WWE, and AJ Styles at one point kind of took over, and then AJ Styles came to WWE, and then he had Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows with him as, Finn was down in NXT. But then Finn eventually got called up, but there was no Club behind him. He's been out by himself. He's been out there smiling, having a good time, just kind of waiting. You see the Shield reuniting, so if Finn Bálor is now losing, he whipped out the Demon, and then all of a sudden he comes out and loses to Roman Reigns, what is it going to take for Finn Bálor to snap and realize, no, if you have backup, I want my own backup? So you can have AJ Styles, who's now just fuming. He's pissed. Samoa Joe took him out again. AJ Styles finds a way to beat Samoa Joe twice at pay-per-views, so he keeps retaining his title, and then all of a sudden the Club comes out and distracts him and can go after Samoa Joe. So then at Survivor Series, you could have the Club versus the Shield. Now, the only problem I had with that is I would like to see the rematch between AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. I think that would be a great match to have, but I kind of see that happening at WrestleMania next year. As sad as that sounds to say out loud, I would love to see the two top dogs from each show going at it. Whether they're going to merge a title, I don't know. That's way down the line. But if you're going to give me the Club versus the Shield, now is the perfect time to do it. The stars are aligning. You have the Shield on one show. You have AJ Styles getting pushed to his limits. I mean, my man AJ Styles has to watch. His wife has to watch him get beat down. His daughter wanted out of his hands. What is AJ going to finally take to snap out of it? Because he's going to keep being the champion. He's that damn good. But he needs a little extra in his back pocket, which saves Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the real title match down the line as well. Truthfully, that's what I believe. If you keep that up, and then you protect that, you make Samoa Joe look like an absolute beast. Samoa can go and decimate Abs Anderson. He can take out Gallows, but he's not able to beat the Club. The Club could not help AJ Styles face Roman Reigns, but the Club could absolutely help out against a guy like Samoa Joe. It's like tying in these long-term storylines for the payoff. Now, if it doesn't happen and Tubby was just getting your hopes up, I'm kind of on tunnel vision with that, and that's what the payoff is. When I throw out predictions, you don't realize what WWE may be thinking, right? It's just a cool opportunity, what we've been presented on TV. But the problem with that is something may happen next week or the week after that could signal kind of where they're going, and my thought right now is completely pointless. But I definitely do think we're going to get a Shield versus the Club. I don't know if it's going to be at WrestleMania. But I think if you burn the Club versus the Shield now, that opens up my grand plan. If you're going to take the title off of both Roman and AJ, please, the payoff would be fantastic. You could have the Shield versus the Undisputed Era. No titles on the line. You can have Brock versus Braun at WrestleMania for the title. You could have Daniel Bryan versus The Miz for another title. You could have the Club versus the Real Club, Finn Bálor. Whew. Just thinking about it, there's so many options. So I think you tease it. I think you let AJ Styles come back, because at one point, AJ Styles could continue being champion, like the Shield are doing, but the Shield have the Intercontinental title with Seth Rollins, so he would have to drop it if they were doing a 3-man, because you would want the IC champion facing the United States champion at Survivor Series based on what WWE did last year. So maybe McIntyre or Seth Rollins have a match, or Drew has a match, and then he has the title. So you're getting Nakamura versus McIntyre at Survivor Series for the title. Or not for the title, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of possibilities WWE can do. I personally think that's where they're going. If I was in creative control right now, well, I never would be, so this is all pointless. Give me the Shield, give me the Club, because you're going to piss off Finn Bálor, who's got to watch on that pay-per-view. He had a match with AJ Styles last year. He's seeing AJ Styles be the champion. He's seeing Roman Reigns be the champion. The Shield is keeping him away. He's seeing his old club on the same pay-per-view. What is that going to do for Finn Bálor? You have Tama Tonga and the other guys that are suspended from New Japan. Is there any possibility of seeing them? I don't know. But that's where I'm going. That's what the payoff is about. Thinking of these creative ideas and talking to you guys and getting your opinion. So let me know, is this the stupidest thing you ever heard of? Could this actually happen? Could Wendy be the reason we get the Club finally back in the WWE to make Samoa Joe look like the biggest villain of all time? Maybe. Call me out. Is this stupid? Is it dumb? Would you like to see it happen? Did I spoil it? And if it does happen, you're going to be like, well, that was cool, but I mean, the guy W. Moo already told us it was going to happen. I don't know. I didn't think of this when I thought, Brock was retaining that title at SummerSlam. That cold take that got exposed. I wanted Brock to carry that title into the UFC Octagon. But we have 6 months until Brock's actually going to get into that Octagon. Brock can still win that title back. They teased Brock versus Braun at SummerSlam. I think that's the WrestleMania match we're all getting. You can tweet me on that one. And until next time, it's your boy Eric giving you the stupid opinions. And until next time, we will see you all later. Huh.